Mr. Eddie Lorton.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, how you doing? Okay, now we'll get to Aerotech here. Okay, this ended up, it was ran through and there was a mistake made, so it ended up getting through inappropriately. So now the thing of it is with ADP, I kind of see another parking kiosk cluster going on to where this isn't only the end of it with the $250,000 that we spent. You ended up doing a resolution on, I got the resolution number and the paperwork there, to where once ADP goes live, which will be, now they've been working on it 8-9 months. The thing isn't working. We spent 230-some thousand. He's asking for back approval, so this money's already been spent and we're not even worried about it, kind of, to where it was approved improperly, which there was an error, okay? But now, what if we didn't approve it? Because now, how I look at it is this. We've almost wasted $250,000. It still isn't live. It's been 8-9 months in the process, okay? Do we not want another parking kiosk thing? Well, now, once it does go live for the resolution, we're going to pay them $1,165,000 if you look at the ADP contract and resolution. So are we prepared to do that? Then what if it doesn't work? So I hope at least now we can get to the bottom line to where if we throw, how long are we going to throw money out the window on this thing, is to where if all of a sudden, if you give them the $250,000, can we have at least a point of interest to where if it still isn't working after an additional 20 more thousand is going to be spent besides the 230. If this thing's not working, we stop. Because I've looked at your budgets, and all of a sudden we used to spend 1 to 2% on technology, and now we're up to 9%, and none of it's worked yet. So I don't agree on it being improved now, okay? And I just see it's not working after 9 months, and how much more money we're going to throw away after this thing when we are broke, $580 million in debt. And can't we just leave well enough alone sometimes to recoup from them giant debts that we've acquired? So I don't agree with it. And then so, will I speak on E9 after this one?
I'll call you up on E9 when we're ready.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, how I see it, I ended up finding this in an hour and a half of research, okay, and it was just overlooked, okay? And so now, how many more of these are there? Which there are more. And so it's like the Dutch boy with his finger in the dike. In this city's hemorrhaging money everywhere. So we need to get to the bottom line to have a system in place to where we can see where our money's going. So I hope we can be more fiscally responsible. Thank you.
I recommend that you sit with the financial officers of the city. We're not hemorrhaging. We're not bleeding to death.
Okay.
And nothing's been misappropriated. So your implications for politics isn't real good.
Well, it wasn't approved correctly.
There was a
which
mistake
through the charter.
made. There was a mistake made. You're right.
Okay, I just want to make sure. we're clear on
Nobody's
that.
stealing anything. Nobody's done anything. Nobody's done anything
I think there was
inappropriate.
a mistake, but it was
That's right.
inappropriately done. I'm not trying to point fingers. I'm trying to have us be on a good page here.
Well, why don't you sit down so that you'll be fully knowledge, and sit down with Mr. Klinger, Mr. Chisel, and
Okay.
figure out where it is so that you don't misrepresent some of the facts.
Well, I'm not. I'm pretty.
Oh, I
I
think
found
you
this
are.
in an hour and a half, sir.
Okay.
You would have never found it.
Well,
so I'm pretty knowledgeable on
I
this
don't
stuff.
think you are. You a CPA?
No, but I have CPAs and I'm good at what I do.
Oh, I've got 20 of them. How many you got?
It doesn't matter how
No,
many. It's how
that's
good they
right.
are.
That's good. Thank you
I
very
found this
much.
in an hour and a half and they had never found it, so I did something right.
We would have. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Item E9. No.
Well, Mayor,
entertain
I think we
motion.
need a motion. I am going to support this. I think that it does highlight maybe a little bit about our fractured purchasing approach that we have. We've always had a decentralized purchasing approach, and I think it raises questions that we maybe need to rethink our purchasing and have a more centralized approach. I think that was an organizational decision that was made at one time, and, you know, we don't have a purchasing agent, but you know, you save money when you invest in certain processes. I'm also like to say that I think that these technology programs are big business for cities. I was here when the city rolled out this one called the New World that didn't go as well as everyone had hoped, I understand now. And so with this and the Tiburon, I think that the council cannot look too closely and ask staff for the timelines. And I'd like to ask Mr. Manager, since I wasn't here, to give me a copy of that original contract and agreement, so I can know, what was the timeline. It sounds like it's progressing, and I saw in All City Mail that you're, working it with the different department payroll clerks, so it does sound like it's moving, but this is hopefully just a minor hiccup.